So this morning, so heavy rain is ongoing here along the west coast again today, but likely for the next couple days, and then that will lift out, and that'll bring an end to a lot of the major rainfall for the west. And we had a severe weather event move through the deep south yesterday, all not as bad as we thought it was going to be. Um, and what's going to happen in the long term, we really don't know, but well, we do kind of, but 10, 15 days out is difficult to forecast. Good morning. My name is Tim Ealer. Hope you all doing well today. Welcome to my channel. Like the video if you like it, subscribe and share it with your friends. So let's get started. So what we got going on the current radar? Well, we got some snow, light snow moving through the northeast, although light to maybe moderate snowfall here this morning. Wind and weather advisories going on this morning. Short-lived, but temperatures below freezing, impacts, and along the Great Lakes, getting heavy snow still. Oswego, heavy snow, maybe not heavy snow, but snow nonetheless on the east side of the lakes. Um, so, which you're pretty used to up there, I'm sure, but still could be impactful. Out west, we still got that flooding rain we're talking about into Sacramento area, San Francisco, San Jose, Eureka, Crescent City, the California mountains. Some showers further to the south. Nothing, not a lot of high impacts there right now. And all up the west coast of the U.S. this morning. What are the current hazards? Again, we got the special weather statement up here in the northeast corridor, mid-Atlantic this morning. With that snow moving through. These are all down in the south related to fog. Okay. Up to the north here, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Grand Forks, Minot, all winter weather advisories for frozen precip. This is freezing drizzle impacting this area in parts of Minnesota and North Dakota. Dense fog, South Dakota, and some other fog related hazards here. Further to the west into Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, we got red flag warning. Low relative humidity, fire weather concerns, high wind warning here in parts of Wyoming, and winter weather advisories in the Salt Lake City area. It's like dense fog as well, parts of Idaho and Wyoming, and some high wind watch into Montana. And see what this is, special weather statement there for northern Montana. And along the west coast, we got some, marine concerns here and flood watch. Flood watches into northern California and the Sierra Nevada. Winter storm warnings in the higher terrain. And on the leeward side, you have winter weather advisories and high and wind advisories, right? With downsloping winds here. And generally up to the north, some coastal flood advisory, things like that. But that's about it for right now. As far as current temps go, we have cold air hanging on here in the upper Midwest. And in the extreme northeast with the negative single digits, the negative 30 up here in northern Maine this morning. It's quite brutal up there, but otherwise, in the middle part of the country on the lee side of the Rockies in the 50s with downsloping winds. Further south, quite a gradient here between northern and central Georgia, 39, 50 here. But compared to a few days ago, not as much of the nation has below freezing temperatures this morning. Warmest temperatures, of course, in southern Florida and southern Texas along the California coast this morning. As far as the local area, what we got going on this morning, dense fog advisory for parts of north and central Georgia. Visibilities of a quarter mile or less. Of course, turning low in the headlights. We got to travel this morning. And as the day goes on, the fog will lift with sunshine in the area. All right, with today, high in the 60s to upper 50s. Further to north, a little bit warmer to the south here. Again, we got the fog this morning. Partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies otherwise later on today. Tonight, to the north, upper 30s. To the southeast of the state, in the low to mid 40s overnight, with partly cloudy skies, likely keeping the temps up a little bit here. All right. Tomorrow, generally in the 60s to near 70 in southern Georgia, with partly cloudy skies. So as you know, we go through the week, pretty much all week is going to be warming up to near 75 degrees for the local area here, Warner Robins. And then a sharp cold front moved through Saturday night into Sunday, or in that time frame, leading to either normal, near normal, or slightly below normal or above normal temps, really. You see the red line here for the high temps and the average high temps, and the blue line here for the average low temps. And these lines indicate uncertainty in the models, right? And the further spread apart they are, the more uncertainty there is. And so the 25 to 75% certainty is in the gray area here. So this just tells you the uncertainty in the models, all right? And you go out to January 18th, you can show the maximum temperature from this model is 65 for a low and 23, 22 for a low. And you see the high difference here as well, like 80 and 40. So still highly uncertain this far out. As far as excessive rainfall, we know where most of the rain is, of course, on the West Coast today. Los Angeles area up into most of Northern California, with the exception on the lee side of the mountains here, with the highest probabilities of heavy rain. Placerville, Meadow Vista, Grass Valley, with that slight chance there. Although probabilities are waning in the coming days here. So day 2, they trim back the marginal risk here to cover parts of Northern California and Central California coast, Santa Cruz, Carmel by the Sea, down to just generally north of Cambria, all the way up to Eureka area, Redding, Red Bluff, Chico, towards Grass Valley here. For day 3, there's nothing on the map for the continental U.S. We have to go all the way out to day 5. We have a marginal risk showing up here on the map, and the long-range guidance has been pointing towards this for quite a while now. So this is for the generally Ohio Valley area to the lower mid-Mississippi Valley, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, parts of Indiana, parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. It could shift or move in the coming days, but that's what we got for now. Severe weather, not expected today, although kind of a weird looking thunderstorm outlook area here. You can see where it is: California, Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, Washington, and Oregon coast here, and southern Florida. As that system ejects through the plains, could have some thunderstorms in Utah and Colorado, parts of Wyoming, and on the California coast. For day 3, nothing on the map. And after that, it's highly uncertain, although I'm eyeing the 9th, area through the 9th or 10th for the middle part of the country, the deep south for possible severe weather chances. We'll talk about that in a minute. As far as data 3 to 7 U.S. hazards, from the 6th through the 10th of this month, not a lot on the map here, just a chance of heavy snow up here in the Cascades of Oregon and Washington, and heavy snow down here in Alaska, but that's it for days 3 through 7. So we're getting kind of a break out west here. As we move on to the 8 to 14 day outlook for the risk of heavy precip, leading up to this today with this, this was posted yesterday, of course, valid January 11th through the 2026. We had this risk of heavy rainfall in the southeast here. Not that that still isn't there. We're probably past that time frame here. So nothing on the map at all. Slight risk of heavy snow here the 11th and 12th of January on the lee side of the lakes and lake effect favored areas. High winds associated with that event on the 11th and 12th, and the 11th through the 17th in Southern California here. As far as hazardous temps go, no hazardous temperatures expected during this period. As far as day 6 to 10 temperature outlook, this is issued yesterday, valid January 9th through the 13th. Forecasts remain above normal, generally east of the Rockies and into the northwestern tier of the U.S., with near normal in the southwest portion of the U.S., but below normal for most of Alaska, exception of southeastern Alaska above, and Hawaii, and below normal to near normal for the Aleutian Island chains. 6 to 10 day precip outlook, looking to be wetter than normal, leaning towards above normal precip chances here. Generally east of the Mississippi Valley into the upper Midwest, but trending below normal out west here, and into South Texas, above normal precip chances. And mostly you can see here near normal to above normal in Alaska and Hawaii, and above normal in the Aleutian Island chain for most of that area as well. As far as day 8 to 14 temperature outlook, for the continental U.S., either expected to be near normal in the gray areas here, with above normal trending to likely above normal temps for the northern part of the U.S., the northern high plains and the central plains, and confidence is higher also on the southwest coast of California and into parts of the northeast, which is different than it's been, right? But yeah, so I don't know. Even if it's above normal, you still could get snow up here. So we'll just have to see how that goes. And kind of split here into Alaska below and above normal temps, and above normal for Hawaii. Rinse and repeat there. And trending below normal now for the precip chances during this period. The bullseye here in the Mississippi Valley, in the Ohio Valley, a little less confidence, but still trending below normal, with above normal precip chance in the South Texas, the central U.S., Northeast, and generally along the Gulf Coast, near normal to above, maybe above normal southern Florida, above normal in Hawaii, Alaska, and near normal Aleutian Islands, and below normal out west. So this is a monthly temperature outlook. This was issued a few days ago. We'll keep talking about this for a little while until the 3 to 4 week outlook is issued again. Trending below normal to the northeast and the northern high plains into the Great Lakes here. Equal chances of temperatures being above and below normal in the white area, and trending above further south. And for Alaska, equal chances to below normal chances of temps being above or below normal here during that period. Monthly precip trending below normal, especially in Florida, likely below to southern Texas. Split in here. Central Alaska above normal with equal chances of north and south, and below further south. And above normal chances likely here in the parts of Montana and further south towards the California coast and the desert parts of the desert southwest, with the rest of the nation, equal chances above and below normal precip. As far as the week to 3 to 4 temperature outlook, this is issued January 2nd, 2026. Looks very similar to the monthly temperature outlook here. Trending below normal in the northern tier of the U.S. to equal chances, generally from the mid-Atlantic to the Central Plains to the Pacific Northwest and above further south. Although not a huge amount of confidence here, leaning above and leaning below. So that's that. And then most of the other Hawaii and Aleutian Island to Alaska, except for southeastern Alaska, are trending above normal temperature above normal chances of higher chances of above normal temperatures here. Sorry about that. As far as precip goes, still trending below normal in the south, above normal into the Ohio Valley, but not a lot of confidence here, as well as areas in the high plains and the northern Intermountain West here, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming area, Oregon, Washington State. Near normal to equal chances for the rest of the nation and below normal up into the northeast. My cat's jumping up here, so you have to excuse her. Above normal precip chances looking possible here in Hawaii, with equal to below in Alaska and equal to below in the Aleutian Island chain. So as far as temperatures go, we're really looking as far as above and below normal temps, right? So starting off this model, this is the AI GFS model, a relatively new player on the field, but anything's got to be better than the GFS itself, I hope. So we're already showing warmer than normal temps here to start this out west, colder up into Canada and parts of the northeast and southeast, right? Move this through time, start this off. As we showed on the 15-day forecast for the south and the rest of the nation, really, almost the entire nation above normal here, except for maybe the west here. All right, this is the 6th. Quite warm here. This is the 9th. And this is what I'm talking about with severe weather chances with this increase in temperatures, dew point. A lot to be worked out still, but we'll see. You can see maybe a cold front pushing through the area, near normal to slightly below normal temps for the eastern U.S., but warmer than normal up into the northern high plains and into Newfoundland and Labrador. The cold air hangs in for the southeast maybe, and warming up really warm above normal temps here in the central and north central U.S. into northern Canada, and maybe a push of cold air as we get towards the end of this model run for the eastern U.S. For the long-term precip outlook for the through the 20th of January, the GFS AI model is showing the highest precip amounts in general Ohio Valley, lower Mississippi Valley, into the upper Midwest and the lake effect favored areas, and the northwest coast of the United States, with less total like in the California area. But as you get further into the period, the northwest coast all the way up into Alaska is really getting hammered by onshore flow again, with it looks like the precip being shown to the north here, maybe some for the Intermountain West here. All right, and then you get towards the end, more uncertain, but the south, we're going to get some moisture here, but the southeast and the northeast not looking too promising for a lot of moisture. So let's take a look at the AIGFS 500 millibar mid-level flow here. Okay, what do we got going on right now? We got trough on the east coast here. I'm going to try this model depiction out here on the weather-wise. We have a mid-level low developing here off the west coast, ejecting the mean flow and dampens out. Then this model wants to really develop a surface cyclone somewhere in this area in the Central Plains, and you see quite a strong jet streak here at 500 millibars, generally in this area. So wherever this sets up, potentially we could have severe weather. All right, and we'll go over that in a second here. So this is another representation of the 500 millibar mid-level flow here, right? And you see a jet streak in this general area here into the just to the east of well, in Mississippi Valley, really here. So when we look at different parameters, we will look at instability, moisture, temperatures, things like that. And whether we get some return from the Gulf of Mexico here, and we'll look over that here next. One of the measures of instability is surface-based CAPE, and this is probably by the GFS to be highest here early on the 9th into parts of Texas. So it's kind of removed from the trough here, and then really not much instability after that. We switch to the Euro. Doesn't have it. The European model won't even show that. It shows temperatures though, right? So you can see temperatures are plenty warm enough here. All right, and go back. Yeah, so warm temps streaming up to the north here with these models on the 9th. Going back to the GFS, although I don't like to use it too much, but really it's only one. Gives us some severe weather parameters here. Going back to the severe weather, storm relative velocity. Interesting with this. It's pretty. We look at these values here, quite extreme to the north of wherever. If we get a surface low developing here, where it moves. Okay, so in general, that's pretty extreme. You're talking 1,000 meters squared per second squared, which is incredible. This area, I kind of doubt that that's what's going to happen, but we'll see. Supercell composite. This is a good indication of where we had a supercell develop with this system. If it does play out, the highest values look to be in the parts of eastern Texas into Louisiana, Mississippi, and then after that fades out. So when we look at mid-level CAPE, we do have some instability at the mid-levels as well. Pretty meager, but for this time of year, maybe sufficient enough for storms to get going. And convective inhibition is something to look at too. If there's a lot of convective inhibition when a system moves through, generally that means there's a cap on the atmosphere, and when the higher the negative number, less likely you're going to get surface-based convection here. Looks to really be scoured out over time, so we'll have to see how that plays out as well. So one of the things we look at with the potential for severe weather is what the photographs look like. And photograph is just a depiction. Models attempt to depict the different parameters in the atmosphere that can show you the moisture, wind shear, and kind of try to figure out where severe weather is possible here. You have a short wave moving through the flow here with this model with the GFS, right? You got to the east of this short wave, you got some perturbations in the flow moving through this. So we take a sounding from generally to the east here at 4 a.m. on the 9th. Okay. You have a chance for some marginal severe. with some relatively stout cap in place. I don't know whether this is going to happen. So go a little further in time here. The cap is forecast to erode according to this. Right, and you can see the hodograph here. You have a general favorable hodograph for tornadoes, although surface base cape is in the 50 range, or 3 cape, which shows some vorticity and some instability there at the surface. These values may be a little bit overdone, but generally favorable temperature profile, although quite saturated here. Likely high precipitation type system here, but you see the the wind shear in the atmosphere is more than sufficient. Storm wave helicity 311 milliseconds squared per second squared, which is more than enough for tornadoes here. It's just the instability and placement of wherever that surface low does develop will help modulate this event. So when I talk about the surface low placement, this helps with vorticity, right? And you can see also with the surface flow is right out of the Gulf here. Moisture stream further going to the north, which will bring higher dew points generally to these areas. All right, so let's move this model back a little bit with the surface low. All right, see hints of a surface low developing here, moving quickly to the northeast. Doesn't really strengthen much till it goes further north here, right? But sufficient values are here, although it's a little bit nebulous at this point. So sufficient values are here. With a weaker surface low, you can get storms, severe weather. Okay, so it really depends on where this sets up. If we switch it over to the moisture values, let's look at the dew point, and where the winds are here. Yeah, so the dew point in the 60s here. Generally, it's like a cold front moving through, right? There's dew points just to the north and east of the surface cyclone. As what usually happens, they get pinched off as the system moves further to the north and away from where the surface cyclone is. Dry air pushes in behind it in the dark browns here. And if we switch to the European, let's see what the European model has to say about it. The European is definitely further north, with some maybe 70-degree dew points moving in the South Texas here. Let's take a sounding of this real quick. Yeah, so Prague forecast Cape values 2,500 joules per kilogram, which is a lot for this time of year. So, and you see forecast a tornado here, move through time. And this isn't Tim Ealer saying tornado is going to happen, right? It's just what the sounding shows. All right. Kind of a wonky photograph here, further removed from the surface cyclone. But given the instability possible, you couldn't rule that out in that area. I would bet on, let's see, it had a surface cyclone further to the north here, right? Go back in time with this a little bit. And we go to the surface. Yeah, the surface cyclone with this model really is further to the north and west. So if this happens, that's probably why the moisture values are pulled further north, given a surface cyclone here further to the north here, and it takes longer to develop here. Let's see, it's through the 9th, all right? compared to the GFS at this point. GFS is much further to the east here. So a lot of timing and discrepancies as far out. But overall, somewhat favorable for severe weather in this area around that time frame. So stay tuned and I'll keep you updated. That's all I got for today, guys. God bless.